Get her on. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney joins us each and every Wednesday here on the Talk of the Town, as close as we can get to right after the news break here around 7:35. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney on the line. Good morning. Claudia, how are you this morning?
Great. Good morning. How are you all?
Not bad.
You're doing good.
You all.
Yeah.
You all? You hanging down south there?
I just said you all. There's a lot of Southerners. There's a lot of Southerners around.
You have to say y'all, not you all. Y'all.
It's like Howie Hawkins over here. You picked up the guy who never lived anywhere in the South, and he's got the Southern draw we had in the studio here.
He spent the week in
when
Louisiana.
was he on? I missed that. When was he on?
A couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I think, yeah.
Is he running for something?
Yeah, again, for governor.
Governor.
Oh, is he really?
He believes that Cynthia Nixon is getting all the credit, stealing his thunder for moving Cuomo to the left.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I was doing that long ago and pushing him, and no one gave me credit for it.
You know, I met him at an event in Syracuse once, and I was walking. I was like walking down the street to go to this event, and he walked over to me and said, "Are you Claudia Tenney?" I'm thinking, how the hell do you know who I am? And I said, yeah. He said, I'm Howie Hawkins. I'm running for governor. And I said, oh, wow. Like, he was Green Party, right?
Right.
And he said, I don't think I agree with you, but I really like you because you're tough and you don't, I don't agree with your policy, but you're really tough and you don't, you just tell it like it is and you call out corruption or it was something like that. And I just thought it was funny that he even knew who I was. But then
your reputation precedes you.
Yeah, he was very nice. I mean, he was very nice, though, personally, one-on-one. We talked about a couple other things, and I think we agreed on the corruption aspect of it, though.
Yeah. No, he's a nice guy.
I don't know. I mean, he's a little nutty, but he was quite friendly, though. He's very personable.
So
Lots
Claudia,
of nutty people are friendly, Claudia.
Speaking of nutty stuff, Claudia, after all the big hubbub that was in the media over Trump's visit and all this, who's going to pay for it and should security be reimbursed and all that, did it scare off the president? Did they say, no, after all that, we're not going to come back, or is that still open for him to return?
I don't know.
To
I mean, I have no idea what they're going to do. I hope he comes back. We're obviously excited. We wanted to do a rally. That's what we asked for in the first place. We're grateful he came in and gave us enough spaces to put people on the tarmac, and we were able to get them into a reception. Originally, we weren't able to do that. But there's so many more people that would love to have him come and do one of his big rallies like he did last night. I didn't get to see it. I heard it was interesting.
He did make the point. He goes, where's the collusion? Show me the collusion. Let's find the collusion.
Yeah, well, I thought it was really funny. It's the only part I did hear. I was getting out of my car, and he was introducing the West Virginia governor. And he was talking about how big he was. Like, he's like 6'11". I don't know what his weight is. I'm not getting into his weight. Or so. Did you hear it? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I did watch it. I think he was fairly tame yesterday, considering all the news that was going on. He did not mention Paul Manafort or Michael Cohen's guilty plea or Manafort's conviction. But to that point, I guess we were talking about this a moment, and a thought just popped into my head, really, as far as that goes. Do you believe that is going to, convicting Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen's plea, do you think that's going to rile up the Republican base to make them want to keep Democrats out, to hurt Democrats in this upcoming midterm election? Or do you think that it's going to, or is it actually going to make the stakes even greater for if there's a blue wave and Democrats get into office, that this could be a sign that the Democrats see kind of blood in the water and they're going to go after Trump for impeachment?
I don't know. I mean, it could get the base going. I usually have a chance. Had a lot of events to go to yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to read through a lot of anything beyond news clips. But I think that there is something that people should understand. I don't believe there's going to be a blue wave. I like the expression that I think somebody referred to as a blue tornado, that there's going to be touchdown in areas where the Democrats are going to pick up seats, where there are retiring incumbent Republicans where there's a challenger that doesn't have the incumbency or the ability to hold that seat. And I don't think it's going to be just one big wave across the country. I think it's going to be based a lot on individual districts, which I think it usually is. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know. A lot of people aren't happy with the fact that we are convicting one person after another, and we have not discovered any kind of so-called collusion, which isn't a crime anyway. But we haven't come up with anything that implicates the president with the Russians colluding. And specifically the Manafort trial, the jury instructions were prohibited for even mentioning anything about Trump or campaign or Russia or any of that stuff because it was irrelevant. And they didn't want the trial was narrowly focused on Manafort.
Claudia, in terms of the Manafort,
years earlier.
Yeah, in terms of the Manafort verdict by the jury, do you foresee that having any implication on the midterm elections whatsoever? Just the Manafort.
Probably,
just the one at a time.
I think it's one of those things where it's going to empower or excite both sides. The Democrats are going to say, see, we got Manafort indicted on absolutely nothing that had anything to do with Trump. It doesn't matter. That's a headline. And the Republicans are going to be upset because why are we going back 15 years? And not that the guy didn't commit a crime according to the jury. It looks like obviously the jury thought that he did. They made their case. But it's like why, the only reason that Mueller was able to go after Manafort was because of this. They thought they had something with, collusion and Russian and everything. So, I mean, the thing is that at what point do we go back and prosecute every single person that has even a scintilla of relationship with Trump, which seems to be what's happening.
Claudia, is there any...
And Manafort's justifying that. I mean, I'm not saying that this guy didn't commit a crime. I mean,
right.
Tax evasion, everything else. But it's like there are all kinds of crimes out there. There are people in our community who I have pushed to prosecutors and say these people need to be prosecuted, and for political reasons it doesn't happen. So this concerns me a lot. I mean, not that we should be going crazy prosecuting everyone, but we should certainly be looking into potential issues, and often things aren't prosecuted for political reasons. Either they are or they aren't.
Is there any? Do you hear any talk or any conversation among anyone of the possibility of any presidential pardon for either Manafort or Cohen to get them basically out of the process?
No, I've not heard a thing. And by the way, the other thing that's got to happen with those, there's going to be an appeals process that'll probably take quite a long time, as you know. So I'm sure Cohen pled guilty, but Manafort's certainly going to appeal. I don't know. The whole Cohen thing, I have a jaundiced eye toward that because nobody goes to Lanny Davis to do this kind of case, who's the attorney that's representing him. And Lanny Davis is literally like a complete operative for Hillary Clinton. And I don't understand why you would go to them unless something is happening or they got something. I mean, why would you tell your client to plead guilty and go to 3 years in jail? What has he done? Of course, we know that from now it doesn't look like anything that he's pled guilty to has anything to do with the president. It has to do with some kind of loan collateral or something and some other things.
Claudia, if you don't mind, hang on one second. We'll take this breather right now, and we'll come back and we can get into a few other issues. We did talk to Linda McMahon. She was in the area along with yourself on Monday, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Small businesses, I know you got an endorsement as well. And then talking about corruption, elections, prosecution, I want to get your thoughts on a federal grand jury indicting another Republican out in California, Duncan Hunter, and charges that his wife and he used campaign funds to pay for some of their personal expenses, kind of tying into what is going on with Chris Collins, another rep out near Buffalo in the 27th Congressional District as well. So we'll talk to Congresswoman Claudia Tenney after this.